Okay, we should be live now. Live stream good. And we're back. It's on. It's working. It's working because we've gotten this down now. He says confidently while it's still muted. There we go. Now it's working. As I said earlier, I was being kind of overconfident in my abilities, forgetting that every time you start a live stream, it's automatically muted. Hey, what's up, Bill? Anthony, thanks for joining in. We'll just give it a couple minutes for more people to join in, and then we'll get on with the live stream. Pisces, San Diego, how's the? I hear it's like abnormally hot down there this time of year, right? There's a heat wave. It's actually kind of cool here in the southeast. Sluggos, Thomas, Taylor, welcome everybody. We'll give it a couple more minutes, then we'll get going. Oh, 93 degrees. That's pretty rough. What has it been around? It's been like in the 90s around here, but we don't have like that awesome water effect, the ocean effect. The wind. The wind. Thanks to the Everyday Wife for bringing that up. Yeah, Barry, we're back home. We'll talk about that here in a minute. It's been a long day. So actually, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started. And as people join in, they can hop in. So we'll kind of cover the week in review. Full disclosure, I didn't have a lot of chance to do a lot more preparation than I normally do because we've been in the car for about 8 hours today. So it has definitely been a wearing out day. And if you saw on Instagram, it's number 6 on the things I want to talk about. But if I don't just get it out of the way, somebody that's sitting in the room with me, the Everyday Wife, will not let me forget about it. So we had the everyday.
We're calling it the everyday disaster.
The everyday disaster. That is the name of what happened to the truck this morning. I don't know why I did air quotes and I wasn't actually saying anything there, but yeah. So we. It
was literally a disaster.
It was literally disasters. We were getting ready to go like explore some more stuff in Jacksonville. It definitely wrecked. Hey, hold on real quick. We're gonna pause this. I've got a work phone call that I gotta take real quick. Just give me 30 seconds.
Did you pause it?
Hello? Hey, what's up? Yes, he is in Aiken County right now. Hey, thank you.
What?
That was the lawyer. Am I paused?
I don't know. I don't see you.
Okay, we're back. I think so. No, that was a regular work emergency. I've been dealing with lawyers all day since coming back. So it's been an awesome day. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're in Jacksonville. We're getting ready to go explore something, and one of the two of us, probably me. I definitely did not check my back. Am I live right now?
I see you.
Skip ahead to the live broadcast. Oh, I paused on my screen. Okay, so hey, future note, if you're doing live streams and you pause it, it pauses your video. It doesn't actually pause the live stream. So yeah, we were at Jacksonville backing up. I didn't look in the rearview mirror like I guess you're supposed to when you're backing up.
The side mirror. You don't look in the side mirror.
The Everyday Wife has an awful lot to say today.
The driver side mirror.
It is just to quit. It is mono. Get out the house, go fish. Since I only have one microphone, I guess it doesn't let both go. What's up, Life of John Ness? Shout out, boom. But yeah, definitely wrecked the truck. Well, it didn't wreck the truck, but definitely hit the mirror. It was destroyed. She puts me on blast quite a lot, Brian.
Come on, ask him how many times he's done it.
If if you come to our live streams a lot, she definitely calls me out on it quite a bit. So in all fairness, in all fairness, this is not the first time that I have damaged a side mirror on one of our cars backing up. About what? Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, we were living in Washington State, and instead of looking in the side mirror, I
drove into the garage.
She's gonna get kicked out of the room. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely ran her side mirror into the like the rail of the garage and broke it. It recently just got fixed 6 years later.
By her father.
She is very ruthless. She keeps me on my toes. It wouldn't be the everyday dad without the everyday wife. But she definitely, or the everyday kid. He also is in here. So the live streams are more of a family affair because it takes a village to get the live streams to run.
I got a slow clap. Thomas Garrett, yes. If I was driving, we'd still have the mirror. Also, happy birthday to Sluggo. Say that.
Hey, happy birthday, Sluggo. See, if I can hear her, I can hear her through my headphones so that we don't get the I don't know, it's not a reverberation, but the cycle of feedback. And yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not a pilot. That's why I always keep the drones close to me, because apparently I'm accident prone. I am accident prone. So yeah, so we hopped off, starting off with the thing that I was kind of hoping we would slide by and not talk about. Thanks everyday wife for bringing that up. It's funny. It's so funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Ask him who drove home.
It's funny. Oh, ha ha ha. But yeah, good stuff. It was a good stuff. Okay, so we'll continue with the week in review, or the 2 weeks in review, I guess. So first part. So we'll go through the everyday. So if you're new to the live stream, what we do is I'll go through this like 2 weeks in review, and the everyday wife she'll be monitoring the comments just to see if there's any questions or anything that come up. And then once we get through the week in review, we'll go through all your questions or comments, and we'll just have a lot of fun. I like getting the week in review out of the way in like 10 or 15 minutes, and then just talk to you guys for the rest of the time. That's where I have the most fun.
Get out of the house, go fish about his truck.
It was fixed. I saw it on Instagram. I thought maybe, but we'll get out. How's the truck? I saw that you had a part that was fixing it, but you're not driving it. I have a very poor memory. So if you're new to the channel, I don't know if I've said this. So I've got, like, a goldfish, right? Can only hold about 30 seconds of information in their head at a time. That's me. I always have like notes on my phone, or I have a notebook that I carry with me everywhere and I write into it, because yeah, I can't hold that much information in my head at a time. But anyway, back on the week in review for the third time. We're going to try getting into it. So last week, I did do my channel review with Tim Schmoyer, Video Creators. It was an interesting experience. It was a good time. It was, like I said in a video earlier that week, I think the channel's doing great. I love everything about this channel. It's been a whole lot of fun doing this. I enjoy interacting with you guys. These live streams are actually my favorite part. So he did give me some advice that I think I will use towards the videos themselves, maybe creating better content. He did think that, and we talked about this before in a video, that maybe I should specialize the channel, because it is true that niche channels are a little easier to grow than a community, but I think we're better as a community. I think I'm going to keep it as the Everyday Dad. I just like what we got going on here, and it's been great. I think there are better things that I can do with the content, and we'll just go from there. It's been a fantastic time. I really appreciate the advice he gave me. He has a breadth of experience it was very great to. He has a breadth of experience that was really great to to tap into. That's the word I was looking for. So I returned my drone. So next, going on with the week in review, I returned my DJI Phantom 4 Advanced. I was so depressed about that. I really liked that drone. I think what happened, and I was talking to Thomas about this. I think it was somebody that's over here that I'm not allowed to talk about on. I'm not allowed to talk about them on live streams because I got faulted for it last time for saying it too much. But I think Blue may have sabotaged it. I don't want to say it was Blue because he may sabotage me next. But the drone was going great, and then it just wasn't going great when I started flying it instead of Blue. So we'll see. But yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is as I'm waiting to get a new main drone, I guess you could call it. As I'm waiting to get a new one of those, I think I want to see if DJI is going to lower the price on their Mavic and Phantom line now that they just released those the specs on their new drones. And we'll talk about the new drones here in a second. That's actually what tomorrow's video is going to be about. But I think I'm just going to wait to see if the prices come down and then get one. Or Bill actually showed me where on Newegg they have refurbished Mavics for way cheap, and I think that's, if I didn't like the camera on the Phantom so much, it would be a lot easier to make my decision. But now that it's kind of now I'm torn. Bill, you have caused me consternation on which one to get, because I like how cheap that is, but I also like the mechanical shutter and the big drone. I don't know. I'm an indecisive person. We'll go from there. But yeah, so Thomas, you're leading me into my next point for the week in review. Is that yesterday or the day before? Yesterday or the day before, DJI announced some new drones: the Mavic Pro Platinum and the Phantom 4 Obsidian, I think is what they called it. And my thoughts are, I'm kind of mixed. I'm kind of mixed about the two. I don't know. I don't think they're enough. For me personally, I mean, yeah, if you want to be on the cutting edge of stuff, go get them. They'll be amazing. For me personally, I think the Phantom 4 Obsidian looks amazing. I think the Phantom 4 Obsidian looks just so cool. I think the Phantom 4s normally look awesome, but I think the Phantom 4 Obsidian looks great. But I don't know that I could swing the price they want for those things for a very, very minimal upgrade, especially since you can, I think they're going to make those, the propellers for the Mavic Platinum be backwards compatible with the current Mavic. So you do get some decibel reduction in the current Mavic as opposed to the new one. I understand they've got different ESCs, different controllers on the motors, different kind of motors, and yeah, I think that will squeeze a little more efficiency and quietness out of it, but is it really worth the extra money if you've already got one? I don't know. I don't think it would be worth it to me. And the new Phantom, I don't really know too much about other than it looks awesome. I like that. Matte gray is my favorite color on this planet, and when you make a matte gray drone, you're definitely going to get you're definitely going to catch my interest when you make something matte black. And okay, so we can skip the next point because we already talked about it, which was us going on vacation and nothing exciting happening. We went on a riverboat trip. We went on
St. John's River.
Yeah. We went on the St. John's River, did a riverboat tour. We drove down there. We did some other things.
Swimming.
We went swimming, but that's not. I mean, that's.
Comedy club.
We went to a comedy club. That's all that I'll say about that. We'll definitely. So Jacksonville was great. I hope to get back down there before. Everybody mentioned St. Augustine. I hope that we can go down and check out St. Augustine a little more here in the future. It's not that far away. It was only like a 4-hour drive. It just stunk that the truck was broken on the way back. And then final point on the week review, I promise I will eventually review the Jamie drone. I keep thinking about it. I know I said I was going to review it, and it just has not happened. It's somewhere. I threw it in the bag in the video the other day when I was packing up for the trip. I promise I promise it'll get reviewed at some point. I won't. I guess when I calibrated the compass, it was on a metal thing, which apparently is bad for compasses because compasses, you know, are magnetic. It's science. It's science. Okay, so we've made it all the way through the boring stuff that I want to talk about. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what do we got?
Well, your birthday was this past week.
Oh, it was also my birthday this past week. I forgot. My birthday was this past week. It's not a big thing. I forgot.
A big thing.
Oh.
And this is for your channel.
The Everyday Wife wants me to open this. She would not let me. She would not let me not open this, except for
He's never
right here.
seen it. He doesn't know what it is.
She says it's for the channel. Let's open it up and see what we got. Whoops! I accidentally undid it. Okay.
Pull it out and pull it up. Yay!
It's a T-shirt.
It's a new T-shirt, y'all.
It's a new T-shirt. That's awesome. What does it say? I am Groot. I haven't had a chance to see this movie yet. I'm probably gonna have to see it this weekend. I'm a pretty big fan of. It's kind of like my thing to wear like nerd T-shirts because I'm kind of like a nerd at heart. So thank you, Everyday Wife for the new shirt.
Yay!
Okay. That's kind of like my thing. All right, I'm going to start cycling through the comments here. What do we got? Accident prone. Hopefully the life of John Ness. I try not to be accident prone when I'm flying the drone. If the truck had obstacle avoidance sensors on it, I probably wouldn't have wrecked it. In all fairness, it's really the truck's fault. If we're being true to ourselves.
It's limited by technology.
I know, right? Taylor Peters, am I going to continue doing moto vlogs? They'll be interspersed about it. I'm not going to do just a moto vlog series like I was doing before. I like doing them. They're a lot of fun. I like how it's kind of like a live stream almost in that you're just like there in the moment. There's no notes. I mean, you can edit it a little bit, but you just kind of spur of the moment, like whatever comes to your head. But they were getting just kind of boring where it was just like me talking. And that's something I'm trying to get away from is me just talking at the camera and me like, showing instead of telling. And so motovlogs will continue there will be motorcycle sections, but I don't know that they'll technically be motovlogs. Infinite Altitude, how many of the items you buy for the channel get returned? It depends. If I say I'm going to return it, I return it. The ones that I've kept have been the cheapest action camera. I gave that to the Everyday Kid. That's been his first camera he's ever had. I kept the cheapest camera drone. The Hubsan? The Hubsan camera drone I kept because it's an awful lot of fun to fly. What else did I keep? I still have the cell phone gimbal. I still have that one. I think I am going to keep it for a minute because I do. Oh, something else I didn't talk about. I've been talking about getting a new phone. There will be a video about this, but since you guys are... That's another nice thing about the live streams is that... So I may have 2,100 subscribers, but really I have like 100 subscribers that watch the live streams, that watch the videos. And those are who... You guys are the ones that I'm actually trying to talk to for like special things or like for behind the scenes stuff. So I did buy a new phone on Amazon. I bought a Samsung Galaxy S8. They have them for used, but I don't think it's really used. I think it was damaged. The packaging was damaged in shipping, so they'll send it to you for like dirt cheap. So if you saw one of my other videos, I held up like a Costco thing that had it for like $550. They had it for $450 on Amazon, so it should be here on Wednesday. I'm really excited to check it out. I'll probably do a whole bunch of comparisons between doing drone flights between an iPhone and the Android phone. I'm going to try out the cell phone gimbal again. I'll do an update where I do it with a Galaxy phone because I think you can turn off the optical image stabilization on those phones. And yeah, I'm really excited for it to come out. What do we got? Thomas, as always, I have a few emails in the FAA for confirmation of the Hobby 107 flight rules. I will forward the emails to you. Thanks, Thomas. Guys, seriously, if you have questions about FAA stuff, you need to send Thomas a message or whatever. Thomas has helped me more than almost anybody else when it comes to specific 107 FAA stuff. He's always out there asking questions, doing research. I really appreciate all the help, Tom. Oh yeah, Bill, the smallest DJI drone. We won't mention its name, but we all know which one I'm talking about. Rob CFL, am I going to go back to the Mavic or the Phantom? I don't know yet. It really depends on... I like the price point of a refurbished Mavic. I've already had a refurbished DJI drone. It basically comes like it's a brand new drone, so I'm not concerned about the refurbishedness of it. But will DJI lower the price of the Phantom 4 Pro and Advanced line, and can I get that awesome camera for a cheaper price? If so, I am 100% probably going to stick with the Phantom because I loved that camera. I've not heard anything about a Spark 2. I'd be interested to hear if there's going to be a Spark 2. I think that's one of the problems I'm having with DJI is they're refreshing their equipment so much, and they're kind of doing what like GoPro did in their last generation, where they had like 6 kinds of cameras, and nobody knew what was what, and it was very confusing to the market. And I think DJI did not do itself any favors by releasing these new these new drones, because it's confusing now. And when you make things confusing for people, if you give somebody too many options, they will choose none. So I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now. But what else? Pisces, Spark or Mavic? That's a question we have here all the time. It really depends. Do you need 4K? Do you need the 3-axis gimbal? And do you need like raw images on the camera? If you need that stuff, you kind of have to get the Mavic. If you don't, I think the Spark's one of the best drones. I think the Spark is probably the best drone on the market right now. What do we got? Yeah, Bill, exactly. My motorcycle is matte gray. Matte gray is my favorite color. I'm a huge fan of matte gray. Maybe it's just my boring personality. The everyday wife kind of makes fun of me for it, for my earth tone. She makes fun of me for my earth tone. So generally, I actually had to go out and like buy new shirts for this channel, because normally I just wear a gray t-shirt, and I figured that would be boring to look at for all the videos. So I did go out and get some better looking shirts for the channel.
And you got a new one for your birthday.
And I got a new one for my birthday. Barry, son lives in Jackson, works in St. Augustine. That's awesome. I got to be honest, that was a beautiful city. We were only there for 2 days. We were going to stay out there for another 2 days, but I had some work emergencies come up, and I couldn't stay there. Man, I wanted to stay there. I did go for a nice run and just checked out the downtown. It's just a beautiful, beautiful city. Jacksonville, thumbs up. If you're in the area, definitely go check it out. I've heard nothing but good things about St. Augustine, so I'm disappointed that we were not able to make it. Oh, all the happy birthday comments. Thanks, everybody. The everyday wife is definitely into birthdays more. I'm not really a birthday person, but she's glaring at me right now. Life of John Ness. On channel maintenance and upkeep, how many hours a week do you spend on the channel? Probably too many.
Yeah.
I spend an awful lot on the channel, but I should take that back. I don't spend too many. I spend as many as I want to, because the channel is very important to me. Yes, it makes a fraction bit of money that I'm hoping to reinvest back into the channel. So basically all the money that I get for the channel, I try to do, buy cool things to review, or I don't know, somehow to make the channel better. But I spend probably a part-time job worth, or maybe even a full-time job worth of hours a week on the channel. So if you consider shooting, editing, uploading, social media, probably about 3 hours a day on the channel. And then on the weekends, it's more than that, because I try to do better videos when I have more time on the weekend. But it's really been worth it to me. If you have a chance, check out this guy on social media. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. I just found him very recently. And he talks about, and we talk about this a lot here on the live streams, but he talks, instead of like necessarily focusing on the width of you guys, especially the ones that show up and interact and have fun here on the actual content, and don't just like passively watch. So the majority of the time I spend is interacting. I try to comment on every comment. As the channel gets bigger, that is getting way harder. But no, the hours, I really don't consider this work. It's hard because I have a very time-intensive main job right now. I mean, I had to take a phone call because of some serious issues going on back at work. But it's, maybe 3 hours a day. So what, 20, 30 hours a week? Long story long. It wouldn't be an everyday dad answer if it wasn't a long story long. But it's been a fantastic trip. I really enjoy it. What do we got? I'm Groot. Yep. I actually have 2 Groots on my desk at work right now. One of them I 3D printed myself on my original guy. The thing that, so I actually have a pretty soft spot in my heart for that 3D printer because that's what made me start my YouTube channel. My first ever real video was a 3D printing video, and it's always got like this soft spot for me. How many of my items I returned? I think I answered that already. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was good just because of Little Groot. I'm so excited. I think I'm just going to have to buckle down and rent it this weekend because I bet it's going to be awesome. I never actually return anything I mean to return. Good intentions, just lazy. Buy on Amazon. What's awesome is that I've got a UPS store right next to my office at work. So I buy it on Amazon. I do the return. You got to make sure when you're buying on Amazon, you buy it either sold and shipped by Amazon or it's like sold by somebody and fulfilled by Amazon. That way the returns are really easy. Like that drone I reviewed the other day actually had a broken battery. I just said broken battery and they took the return without any issues. We got Samsung S8. I'm so excited for that S8. I'm so excited. That display, anytime I mess with that phone in the store, I'm like, I'm just going to take this phone right now. Right now. Takes great pictures. Yeah, the iPhone has a really, really good camera. I like the dual camera that it's got on it. You can kind of like simulate depth of field when you put both cameras on. It's pretty awesome. Anthony, my other job, I'm actually in the Army. That's what I do on my daily basis. Sean Page, Bixby is way better than Siri. I wouldn't know. I don't really I never use Siri because the everyday wife is jealous of Siri.
That is not true.
That is totally true. Anytime I try to get Siri to give me directions, the everyday wife gets jealous. So maybe if is Bixby an it? Or does Bixby have a pronoun, like a gendered pronoun? I don't know, but we'll have to use the male voice so the everyday wife doesn't get jealous. I use an S7 to fly my drone. Brian Morgan, I use an S7 to fly my drone when I read runs DJI 4 better. I hope so. I used to have an S7 active. I didn't really like it. It was like an S7 that they put a case on, and it didn't make things work. I like the PhotoRes of the Phantom 4, but that would mean upgrade all my older tech. I know. That was one of the hardest parts about making this channel is starting off with this channel. I had none of the equipment for this stuff. I had like my phone, and I had a GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black back in January where I started the channel. And then as I started getting into it more and I wanted to make it look better, sound better, feel better, I had to upgrade everything. And it's not that that's a bad thing. I like buying gear, which is why I review it so much. That's why reviewing the cheapest is my favorite, because it just gives me a chance to unbox and review stuff, which is just a whole lot of fun. But yeah, upgrade all my tech. I think once I get the new drone, I could move into the 4K realm because I've got 4K camera. Well, I've got 3 4K cameras, 2 of my action cameras. My Panasonic is a 4K. The drone would then be a 4K. I don't know that I will because those files are just gigantic, but probably not. Probably not. Victor, do most people ignore the flight zone rules? Well, I'll tell you, it seems that way. Some of these YouTubers get some amazing shots. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing shots. But now that I have taken the test, I'm certified, and I have to make sure I check all the blocks before I fly somewhere to make sure I'm safe. I'm not going to get fined. I'm not going to hurt anybody. It is very depressing when I see all these amazing shots, knowing that I'll never be able to get them because in good conscience I just couldn't. So, for example, I have a whole video on it. I'm a huge Casey Neistat fan. And I thought his video on the solar eclipse was a fantastic piece of video storytelling. But every single drone shot in there was not Part 107 compliant. I don't even think it was Part 104 compliant because you got flying above the maximum altitude of 400 feet. You got flying over people. Just fantastic shots. Fantastic shots. They looked great, but I'll never be able to get them because I always fly within the rules because I think the rules are there for a purpose, and not just a purpose of making sure that we're all individually flying safer, but I think once we get a set of rules that everybody can follow consistently, and then the general public knows, okay, drone flyers are not a bunch of creeps that are trying to, I don't know, videotape me while I'm swimming in my pool in the backyard. Once we get to that point where everybody's kind of all on the same page, I think things will get better for drone flyers in general, where we won't have to worry about just people being angry about drones. I think once we normalize the relationship, things will get better. It just stinks when I see fantastic drone photography happening, knowing that I can't do it because I will make sure that I follow in the rules. Joshua Carlton, hey, out of curiosity, why do you point your antenna straight out? You will get much better reception if they point it up. Great videos. Hey, thanks for that. I hope you really do enjoy the videos. What I try to do with my antennas is I try to do it at a 45-degree angle. I think I read that somewhere on like the DJI forums or something, that's like the best way for the best direction to set them up for distance and science something. I don't know. So I try to do it that way. Sometimes it may be a little more, maybe a little less. I try to, if they're gonna go far away, if I'm gonna send the drone a little farther away than I don't know, a couple hundred meters, I'll try to point the antennas at the drone. I don't know, but I never really fly it far enough away from me that distance is really an issue. Spark is for short range. Oh, I just lost. Holy crap! What just happened? What just happened? Okay. Caught it up. The live chat went crazy for a second. Where am I at? Raf G. Sparks for short range. Mavic goes far. I've seen some videos of the Mavic going crazy far, and like I said earlier, it's cool, but I don't know that I would do that. Is matte gray the same as gunmetal? I think yes, but isn't gunmetal like have a bluish tinge to it?
It's darker.
It's darker?
Gunmetal is darker than just matte gray.
Okay. Any kind of gray. I like bluish gray too. I like bluish gray too. In your Spark Mavic active track comparison video, you gave the setup time test to the Spark. When that video was recorded, I don't think you could record video with the gesture. Infinite altitude, that's a great question. What I did in the Spark Mavic controller review for time to get up was just time for the drone to get up in the air and then connect to either I think it was the phone app, I think is what I did. So it wasn't recording video. It was, okay, hey, it's just like I'm just taking it out of the bag. I'm trying to send it up, and that was how the time comparison was. I think it was 30 seconds for the Spark and a minute for the Mavic. Not that big of a deal, but the thing that I really wish the Mavic could do is like hand takeoff. That hand takeoff for the Spark, if you're going to take it like mountain biking with you or in the backcountry, is so great because you don't have to worry about landing it like on dirt or getting any kind of grunge in the air intake. It's awesome. It's awesome. Please help me get to 10,000 subs. Remember me. I remember you. You actually come to all the live streams. Bill, I'd rather have birthdays than not. That's true. That's true. Thomas, how's the drone base going? Okay, that's a good question. I don't think I've mentioned this. So I've done 3 drone base missions so far. Well, I've done 4. You saw the video about the 2. The one I did twice, that one actually vanished after I did it the second time, so I wasn't able to upload that one. Then I did 3 more. One of them got rejected because, in all fairness, there were some contrast or exposure issues. But 2 of them got accepted and then sold like the next day. So I don't know if that's the normal pattern. I've been meaning to go out and do more drone-based missions because they're really easy. And somebody was telling me about the Litchi app. You can use the Litchi app to automate it. And if I can automate it and take even less time, I think that would be awesome. Because there's about 200 commercial missions in my area. And if I could get $4,000, I'd be...
I would be...
The everyday wife would be okay with that too. What do we got? Yeah, no, they don't need to be geo-referenced. It's just that when you take the pictures, bless you. When you take the pictures, you just upload them, and they do everything themselves. They do all the stitching together themselves. It's actually pretty cool if you go to their website and check it out. I got to check out some of the 2 missions that I got accepted and do the 3D little look around that they had. It was pretty darn cool. Joshua, are you still 3D printing much? I don't 3D print as much as I was. I tried to find like all sorts of knickknacks just to make because it was kind of like the new thing I was into. I still use it though, but more for like practical stuff. So if you saw the other day, I had a video about I broke my favorite vlogging tool, and it's just nice to be able to print something new. You're able to design, if you can think of it and your printer's big enough, you can make anything. Like, it's great. Anytime I have a review for the video where I want to compare 2 terrestrial cameras, I guess I'll call them, 2 terrestrial cameras where I want to connect them to something, I just design like a dual connector in the 3D printer and hook it up to my bike or hook it up to my helmet or something. It works out really well. The thing about the 3D printer though is if you're not super into it and you're not making like game things or you're not making like really detailed things, I would shy away from an expensive 3D printer. They've got some serious 3D printers out there. But like I bought this one almost a year ago now, the Monoprice Select 3D Mini. And there's been a few things that I wish were a little bigger, like you can't print prop guards on it for the Mavic or the Spark. It doesn't have enough printing volume. There are some bigger ones out there that you can, but it was only like $150 when I bought it. Monoprice has some new ones coming out that I'm really kind of excited about. The Delta is their new small one that's supposed to be like $150. They've got a version 2 of this one out, I think. But no, 3D printing is great. If you just have little things or little parts to print out, like you'd be surprised at how many little things around the house will break, and then you're like, well, crap, I need that part, but I can't go to the store to find it because they're never going to have it. If somebody else out there has already designed it, it takes like 30 seconds to pull it off of, I generally go to Thingiverse. It takes like 30 seconds to pull it off Thingiverse, load it into the computer, print it out in like an hour, and then you're good. And if you need one in the future, you just keep printing them. I really like it. Please, Wonder Wife, remember you. Oh, I forgot Wonder Wife is the everyday wife. Oh. I didn't forget that you were here because you're here. I just forgot that you called yourself Wonder Wife. Yeah, no, get out the house, go fish. I try to keep up watching your videos. I think you do that. So I think my video about the parrot did not do it justice. Anytime I watch one of your videos with the parrot, I'm like, man, I cannot believe how great that thing is, because it just did not want to work for me. But I didn't want to fault it in my review, because I have seen like your videos in particular that make it look good. I think it was just too windy the day I was doing it. Bill, thanks. The acting. I took that. So for that part where I like swung around for the thing, I actually had to take that like 6 or 7 times, just so it wasn't like a super awkward, weird thing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Pisces, I think I talked about drone base. Raymond, I think I talked about how much the 3D printer cost. Please help me. Did I ever try a GoPro Hero 3 Silver? No, I've never tried a GoPro Hero 3 Silver. I had a GoPro Hero 3 Black, and then actually way back in the day, like 6 years ago, the everyday wife for my birthday bought me a GoPro Hero 3 Black or something. It was like $500 at the time, and we had just had a kid, so we could not afford that, so we had to return that. Thanks, you guys, for the thanks. Yeah, uploading speeds is not the worst. Now that I've got a computer that's actually capable of doing decent editing, making the videos, it was taking me, if you see the battle axe back here, the battle axe would take like an hour to process the video, and then it would take another hour to upload. It really stunk. So it was very nice to have a computer now that's able to do the editing easier. It just, our internet. What?
I said, and quicker, just easier and quicker. It was worth every penny to get you back to being able to do other stuff and not waiting for it to load.
The everyday wife said something. I don't know if you can hear about it. Get out the house, go fish, stick with 1080p. I think that's a good choice. I'm still doing everything in 1080p. I think 1080p is fine. 4K I think will be the way the future's going, but how long did it take people to get 1080p TVs? There's people today that still don't have 1080p TVs. Sean Page, you say hi Bixby and it can go just about anything. That's awesome. That's awesome. Dang it, the comments just went crazy again. Sky Vector is a great site to check for NOTAMs, airspace, weather. Yeah, Thomas, I saw your note about that. I'm going to have to give that a shot. I try to keep up with all this stuff, but the channel sucks up so much of my time. I really depend on you guys, and you guys have been great, like helping me out with some research and stuff. It's been a fantastic time. Where we at? Community pools, but no one there. Yeah, you gotta be safe. You gotta, and like, I think videos with people in them are cool. I just would feel terrible if I had to fly away and it wrecked into somebody. Even that spark could turn into a pretty awful projectile if it falls from like 100 feet. Please help me. Which GoPro is better, the Hero 3 Black or Silver? I think objectively the Black is always better than the Silver. That's like GoPro's thing. The Black can do, I don't know if the Hero 3 Black could do 4K at like 10 frames per second or something like that, but it's yeah, it's not. Your antenna should be placed differently when flying in 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz. Okay. That's nice to know. I think what does the Spark do? I think the Spark only does one of them. I don't know if it does dual band. It does dual band transmissions. I don't think it does. Anthony Nev, would you ever think about reviewing the Dobby drone and see how it compares? I really would love to review the Dobby drone. I actually reached out to Zerotech to see if they'd send me one to let me review it, but since I have the Spark, I'd never keep it, so I don't want to buy one just to, I mean, maybe I'd buy it and return it. I guess I don't really have an issue with that, but I am very interested in that Dobby drone. Before the Spark came out, I was on the verge of buying one just to use. The only thing I don't like about it, and if you have a Dobby out there, tell me. What I don't like is when it has the electronic image stabilization on, and you move it too quick. You see this huge like black bar come into the video. I think that would kind of ruin it for me. Get out the house, go fish. I like my flight planner too much. Yeah, that flight planner, even in the day I was playing around with that Parrot, that flight planner app is powerful. It's super easy to use. It's super powerful. I was incredibly impressed by that. And not just that, but I mentioned this guy named Dustin Dunhill. I watch his live streams. I like his videos a lot too. But he does a lot of stuff with Parrot, and he did this, I think, Get Out, we were actually in the same live stream, because I think I saw you ask a question in that one. But he does, like, huge, like, 50-mile trips with his, they're more like airplanes than quadcopters, but with his drones, and that flight planner is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. Infinite altitude? No, I agree. It would probably take longer to set the automatic route than it would to fly manually, but if you're a new pilot like me, and you need all the help you can get, I think it's nice to be able to plan it out. You can be more specific and more directive and not have to worry about as much the manual stuff. I think they're both great. I think they're both perfectly fine, but that flight planner app is incredibly powerful. Thomas, yes, you can absolutely use the Spark for drone base. Mine got accepted. That was the main thing. I just wanted to make sure I could get the pictures accepted, and then I knew I'd be good. And it's something that I could do just in my off time to make a little money on the cash, or a little cash on the side. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, 3D printers are really, really cool, Raymond. Just the thing you gotta look at is 3D printers are not like replicators yet. You're not gonna like change your life with a 3D printer like a lot of the demonstrations or a lot of the 3D printer channels on YouTube show. They're fun things, and I really, really like mine. It just, I mean, you just got to think of what things you could use it for before you get one. What do we got? My acting was really good. I actually took drama in high school like 15 years ago. Still practicing. Ben Chick, hey, welcome to the, I don't know that I've seen you here on the live stream before, so welcome to the live stream. Raymond, we've seen you reviewing cameras, drones. Would you review phones? I'd absolutely be up for reviewing phones. I think I'm going to probably do a review on the Samsung Galaxy 8 I've got, even though it's way back in the past. I'm not really a phone guy. Like, I love smartphones. I think phones are amazing. The things that we can do with phones now are fantastic. But they're all kind of like the same at this point. They all are a rectangular brick of some kind or the other. So I'll probably do a review on my phone, but if it comes across my lap, I had a company reach out to me the other day about reviewing stuff for their website, and they are a tech website. Just they've got drones, phones, all sorts of stuff. If they send me one to review, I'd review it. But phones are. I like cameras and drones are kind of like the thing I'm into right now. I think the next. I actually don't have anything for reviewing the cheapest for this week. So we may be going to Walmart and finding something for reviewing the cheapest. So if you have an idea, for reviewing the cheapest, a type of thing you'd like to see reviewed, let me know and I'll go find the cheapest one at Walmart tomorrow. If you don't have a drone yet, would the Spark be a good drone to get? Yeah, I think the Spark's a fantastic drone. I think it's good for beginners and experienced people. I think the Spark is just. I said it. I didn't even realize it. I think it's just a fantastic drone. All around, it is a amazing drone. Yeah, he lost it. Practice makes perfect. The Zero Explorer Mini. Yeah, I do need to check out different drone brands. It's hard to check out other drones when DJI has just crushed like the market. I mean, even if another company comes out with a drone that is as good as one of their things, they have such market share that, I mean, you say drone, people associate drone. If somebody doesn't know what a drone is, and you say, hey, what is the picture of a drone? I guarantee they'll point to a picture of the Phantom. The Phantom and drone are synonymous. It's like saying you want a soda and somebody shows you a Pepsi or a Coke can. They have crushed the market, but I do really want to start looking into other brands too. Like I guess I do have a Hubsan. I think Hubsan's been pretty good. Yeah, Get Out. He definitely lost that drone. I was hoping it would come back because that would be awesome. He did like he lives in Hawaii and he did a 50-mile loop of one of the islands, and the battery should have been able to make it. It just it did not make it back, unfortunately. Did not make it back. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're all Infinite. If anybody... Oh, sorry. Liam Bryant, welcome to the live stream. I don't think I've seen you on a live stream before either, so welcome to the awesome show we got going on here. I think the Spark's awesome. I said it again. I think the drone's awesome. It's fantastic. It's such a good thing. But yeah, Infinite, we're all DJI fanboys. I mean, there's no way to be a professional. I mean, I don't really consider myself a professional. I guess technically, having taken drone shots for money, getting certified, I guess technically I'm a professional, but I'm not a very good one.
You're not.
But we're all DJI fanboys, because if you want to have a decent flying camera and you're not making your own rig, you're probably going to get a DJI product. I mean, that's just life. What is it? I saw a Phantom lookalike that had a 1080p camera, or Xiaomi, the Chinese company that makes the action cameras. They also just came out with a drone. They also just came out with a drone recently, the Xiaomi Mi or something like that, and it looks just like the Phantom. It does 4K. I think the new one does 4K. But I mean, we're all DJI fanboys for the most part. I will say that what was it, Thomas? You showed me your drone. It was a Giro something. It looks like a futuristic. What was that game I was playing recently? What recent? It was like Dark Souls with robots. But anyway, you had like a drone that you could throw out, and it looked exactly like the drone that Thomas was showing me there. Before. Pisces, do I edit my drone videos? I don't really. If I put them on Instagram, I'll edit them a little bit by using the auto edit thing. The problem with the Spark is that you don't get a lot of control over the video and the photo. So whatever you take, it's kind of, you have to do everything in post to change it, and you can't really change too much without just. It is capable of some really awesome things, but I don't edit it too much. Yeah, the smallest DJI drone. Not the other word. What the Yi action camera? No, just saying that Xiaomi is also making drones. They make that action camera. I was really considering getting when I moved away from GoPro, and now I'm a Sony DJI fanboy. But when I moved away from GoPro, I was really thinking about the Yi 4K. I was gonna replace my GoPro setup with a pair of Yi 4K cameras. I think they are pretty good. If we're being honest with each other, I think they're good for action cameras. The problem is now that Sony did this thing where their mainline action camera has really, really good stabilization, I will never be able to go away from Sony action cameras until somebody comes out with an action camera that has better stabilization, because that stabilization is unreal for how good it is. What do we got? Altel X-Star Premium is a total knockoff too. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, though, how are you going to make a quadcopter? Because quadcopters are super stable. How are you going to make one that doesn't look like a DJI drone? I mean, seriously, DJI was the 3DR Solo. I mean, they all have to have 4 propellers connected to like a main body hub with legs. They're all going to look really similar. Yeah, no, Thomas, that drone looks really cool. It looks really cool. Liam had the 4K plus. That's what I was looking at, but just the stabilization. I can't do it without stabilization anymore. So like GoPro, every other camera has electronic image stabilization, which I don't think does that great of a job. It takes a big 4K image, it pairs it down to 1080p, like we were talking about with the Dobby a second ago. But in that, I don't know. I don't think it works as well. The Sony FDR X3000, is mine even up here? Is mine up here? Yeah, the Sony FDR X3000, you'll hear me talk about this a lot, because the stabilization on this thing is unreal. It's almost as good as the gimbal. Like, it's almost as good as that gimbal that I did on reviewing the cheapest. The only problem is that it's hard to go through all the menus. It's a real pain, but the camera is so good. Like, if the camera were just a little bit better, I would only use this. If it wasn't for the abilities that my mirrorless camera give me, I would only use that Sony action camera. I love it. Bill, yeah, it's tough buying an action camera. If I were to buy an action camera, not just talking about my own set, but you can't, it's hard to go wrong with the Sony. If you need to see what you're shooting and framing your shot, probably, I was hearing really good things about the Garmin Verb. I forget what it's called now, their new one that they just came out with recently. I heard good things about that one, and its stabilization is supposed to be pretty good. The GoPro is like the Apple of action cameras. Maybe I just got a bad one, because people talk about GoPros. They really like their GoPro Hero 5 Blacks. I hated my GoPro Hero 5 Black. So many times I would take it out and use it for things, and I would come back and all the footage would be gone. It just wouldn't be working right. And, I was doing a lot of moto vlogs at the time, so I couldn't, like, look at it all the time. It was just, like, on the helmet. And I'd get back, and there'd just be no footage left. I hated that camera. But other people love them, so, I guess your mileage may vary. What do we got? Session 4 is still only $149. Yeah, I had a Session 4 for a little bit. I think the Session 4 is an amazing camera for its little form factor. I just didn't like being locked into, and this is ironic I'm saying that when my drone is locked into almost the exact same camera settings. But I don't know. The Session's great. I really liked it. I just needed more. I did want some kind of stabilization, because now that I've got stabilization, it's like all that I aim for in life. Now, and my other action camera, I have 2 Sony action cameras. This is the 1000, this is the 3000. This does electronic image stabilization. It's not that great, but it's better than nothing. But I do think the Session's a great camera. If they could get optical image stabilization in that Session, I think it would be an amazing, amazing camera. Scott Jones, welcome. 23 drone-based commercial pano missions now paid for the first 8 of 10. That's awesome. And yeah, I'm super jealous of you, because if I remember right, you're shooting those in Atlanta, and I thought that Atlanta would be like a restricted airspace nightmare. But when I checked my airspace app, there's a lot of parts of Atlanta that are okay to fly in, and like in the city. That would be really awesome. Augusta is not the same way. Where do we got? What do we got? GoPro image stabilization. Get out the house. Go fish. GoPro image stabilization are horrible. Yeah, it's not great. The Thei. Who did I see? I saw a video from that recently. Somebody was reviewing the Thei. I guess it looked okay. I guess it looked okay. I mean, action cameras are action cameras. Like, the best part about action cameras is you don't have to think about it. You just point it and go. And that's why I like the Sony so much is I just point it and go. I can put it on anything and I'll get stable footage out of it. Infinite altitude. The main reason I won't buy a Spark is due to the single compass and single IMU. Yeah, I mean different funds for different ones. I do think the technology is just going to continue just blowing up. I hope DJI paces themselves and comes out with a better product release plan so that they don't oversaturate the market, confuse people, and then turn people off to their products. Because it happened to GoPro. GoPro had the market cornered, and then they had their GoPro Hero 4 line that confused everybody. And now they've got what? The Session and the Hero 5 Black. And they're trying to sell out the rest of their Hero 4s. Wow, Bill going on a huge bike trip. I am very jealous of that. I need to go on a big bike trip at some point here soon. I'm thinking about it because I think I've not yet gone on one, but I think going on one would be fantastic. Liam Bryant, is the Panasonic G7 worth buying for a first camera for YouTube? I have a channel. I feel like all the YouTubes may be biased. You've had this camera for a while. I've had the Panasonic Lumix G7 for 3 months now. I think 3 months now. I think it's a good camera. I bought it because it was cheap and it was better than so I was originally shooting on my wife's like 5-year-old Nikon D5100 DSLR. And I was using it wrongly. I think I could do a lot better with it now that I know a little bit more about shot composition and how to get better footage. But it looked terrible at the beginning. Then I was like, okay, well, I need something better than that. I moved to my iPhone shooting in 4K with this accessory called the iOgrapher. And the audio was terrible and it was bad. So I was like, okay, I just need to get a main camera that I can put a microphone on. And that's how I ended up with the Panasonic Lumix G7. I think it's awesome. It's super light. It's got a hot shoe mount on top, so you can put a directional microphone on top of it. I've thought about selling it and moving to like a Sony RX100 Mark V or a Canon, the Canon PowerShot G7 Mark II. I've thought about that, but I don't know. I just like what I've got. If I need something small and I need something easy to use, I always default to the Sony because I've made that vlogging tool that lets me have a directional microphone, basically almost a gimbaled camera, all in a tiny package, and it is an awesome combination. It is an awesome combination. What do we got? I live in the North Burbs, so it's easy to fly here. I bet Atlanta's we go up to Atlanta every now and again when we try to. Medieval Times is in Atlanta, and that's probably my favorite restaurant to go to. The Everyday Wife just gave me a glare for that, but we love going up there. The Everyday Kid, when he sees the Medieval Times, his brain just like blows up. It's so awesome.
He asked to see the nights.
It's so awesome. Watch Instagram. Oh, Bill, I will definitely be checking it. I will definitely be checking it out from there. Infinite Altitudes, actually, both of us have family in Ohio. I just talk about hers more because we like her family better than my family. We don't really talk to my family too much. If you're watching, I love you guys. Visit. We should do some drone over Lake Erie. Absolutely,
cool.
Absolutely. We when's the I think we're going up there because her family actually lives in Cleveland, and I would love to do some droning over Lake Erie. I bet that would be beautiful.
Like the metro parks.
Yeah, I do a lot of running in the metro parks when we're up there, and I bet that would be a great place to do running too.
I wonder where the Class D space is though, because the airport's there.
Well, Cleveland's a little bigger. It might be C up there, but we'll check it out. We can check it out. I'm sure the lake is a big place. We wouldn't necessarily have to do it in like downtown Cleveland. Alejandro, still considering buying the Spark controller? Your videos are helping, huh? No, it's definitely. If you want to use the Spark, so I think you can use the Spark as like a flying action camera, and you don't need the controller. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that. I think the phone app is really, really good. It's probably the best phone app I've ever used for a drone. But if you want to use it as more of a cinematic tool, or you want to use it as more of an actual camera, yeah, you're going to need the controller because the phone app seriously limits you on that. But the controllers, I think it's a worthwhile upgrade. The GoPro Session does not have removable batteries. That battery is stuck in there. It is stuck in there. There's no way to move it. Another reason I moved away from it. And the problem with GoPro, so I like what GoPro's trying to do where they make it inherently waterproof. All their cameras are now inherently waterproof. The problem with that is you just lose all the audio. And yes, most of the time I'll have a microphone or something hooked up to the camera. So it's not necessarily the camera's audio that you're looking for, but sometimes I'm just in an emergency and hey, I just got to live with the microphone that's on the camera, and the GoPros just sound terrible all the time. They look terrible all the time. Where are we at? Your video and audio quality looks as good as other YouTubers. Well, hey, thanks, Liam. I appreciate it. I'm definitely working on it. I think I've got the mechanics and the equipment I need. Now it's just working on my abilities to tell stories and just show instead of telling, which is one of my problems. Is I'm a talker. I'm a natural just jabber, as I've now talked for about an hour. But being able to show and to tell a story visually is, I think, is a lot of fun. Like my favorite videos, so my two favorite videos so far have been the returning the Phantom 4 Advance to the store, and what was the other one where it was an actual like story arc? I can't think of the other one, but there's two out there that have an actual setup, conflict resolution arc to them, and I really enjoy doing those. Infinite, I'd be interested in Lumix when it's time for you to upgrade. Well, not that I'm against it. I've dropped this thing so many times. It's probably gonna have to. It's might be on its last leg already. Like the screen's getting ready to fall off of it ever since it fell off of the motorcycle. But yeah, I'll keep you in mind when it's time to upgrade. Hey Raymond, thanks for stopping by. I love thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Bill, your video is perfect. Thanks. You guys are being. Everyday Wife told me to say that. No, she would not be the one to tell you to say that.
You're making me out to be.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I live in Elyria and I've flown a lake near downtown without issues. That's great. Like I said, we haven't. The last time we were back up there was it Christmas? Was it Christmas?
Yeah,
I think the last time we were up there was Christmas of last year, and I think we'll end up going back there in the next little bit or so. Well, okay, we're at an hour, so we'll do another. We'll just close out in a nice even hour and 10 minutes. So if you've got any last minute questions or anything you want to ask or comments you want to make, we'll do it. We'll close out in about 8 minutes because it is definitely getting well, one, it's past the everyday kid's bedtime, and two, it is now 9 o'clock at night, and I have yet to film anything for the video releasing tomorrow. So, hooray! Today's been a rough day, so we still have to make the video for tomorrow.
Liam Bryan is so nice. Address this comment.
Spread the positivity, and you'll get it back. Absolutely, Liam, I fully agree with that. I mean, I guess I'm guilty of it too, where I watch YouTubers that are negative, but we should not be negative. Like we have got to be positive. We've got to be more positive because I get it. It's not always. I don't want to say real because I have bad days just like anybody else. But even making these videos where I force myself to be positive, they just put me in a better mood. Like I'll have a crappy day at work and be in a totally bad mood, and then I'll get out there and I'll start thinking about, I'll start filming the video, and maybe it'll take me a couple times like, hey, everybody's the everyday dad. But by the time I get there, once I start getting into it, it makes me more positive. It puts me in a better mood. So no, absolutely, Liam. I definitely agree with the positive outlook. Bill, he's really liking school. Well, it depends on the day. Depends on the day whether he likes school or not. He's a great kid. I'm really proud of him. He's so. I like how he's growing up. He is starting to get his own will. He is definitely becoming a willful person at times. But even like today, we kept in the car for like 6 hours, and he was being a trooper. So he likes school. His teachers are great. He has to start listening. He has to start listening more. He likes to do his own thing, kind of like somebody else in my house.
What?
Well, I mean, it could be anybody, but he likes to do his own thing. And when his teachers are like, "Hey, maybe it's time to listen," he definitely doesn't always like to listen. Thanks for the great content. Troy Johnson. Thanks for the great content. Your videos are why I picked up the Spark. Hey, that's awesome. The best part is when I make a video and somebody's like, "Hey, that helped me make a decision," or that helped me, figure something out. It's been great. That's the best part of the channel. Don't get me wrong, I like that the channel's growing, but it's more about interacting than it is with doing stuff. Flying a drone always puts me in a good mood. Infinite puts me in a great mood. I'm so excited for the weather to finally. It's starting to cool off a little bit here because, living in the southeast of the United States, the summers are brutal. So Drone Flight Friday has been tough to film because staying outside for like 30 seconds at a time, I'll start sweating and it's just terrible. But now that it's cooling off, I'm much more excited to get out there and start flying. The Life of John Ness, yeah, but you were doing a good job. I have a whopping 48 subscribers. Hey, it just takes some time. I was very fortunate. I probably, a lot of life is luck and being in the right place at the right time. My first video I ever made was a 3D printer video and I think it has 11,000 views now. But it was like my first driver of people to my channel, and it slowly started building. I got about 100 subscribers, and then the DJI Spark came out, and I got the DJI Spark, and the channel just blew up. And a lot of people are subscribing based off of that original video I did of the obstacle avoidance, and that's great. But the problem with growing like that is that people come to your channel looking for one specific type of video, and when you release videos that are not that specific type of video, they may love it, they may want to watch it, but YouTube will not show it to them. YouTube, even if you subscribe to somebody, if you don't click that bell notification icon, they won't necessarily show you that somebody's released a video if it's not in your viewing history. So your viewing history tells YouTube what you like. And if one of your people that you're subscribed to releases a video that's not in tune with that, they just won't show it to you. They won't. So where are we at? Yeah, so just keep on it. It will grow. It just takes time. Sometimes you gotta. So one of the big tips that Tim told me, and I don't feel bad about saying this because he's said this in videos that he's released publicly, but you gotta have different buckets of content. So community content, like live streams or the vlogs where I try to really reach out and tell a story to you guys, and then discoverable content. And the way that I'm doing discoverable content is Drone Flight Friday, where I review a drone product or something. Reviewing the cheapest should drive a lot of people to the channel because they're searchable. So it's driving people to the channel, getting them hooked on the channel, liking it, and then staying around for the community, becoming part of the community. At least that's been my strategy. Hopefully it's working out. I like how the channel's growing. If it's growing at a sustainable pace, I think if it grows too fast, people will only want to see that one video you did. He has great parents. I think so. I think he has great parents. Infinite Altitudes, how come we don't see more the everyday wife in your videos? She's still deciding if she likes this YouTube thing or not.
That's true.
She's still deciding if she likes it or not. And once she's in a video, she's in it forever. She's now in the channel forever. So she helps me out a lot. I really appreciate all the help she gives me. I think someday we'll get her. I think someday we'll get her in the videos.
No.
I think we will.
I'm camera shy.
She's camera shy, but I think we'll get her. But that's part of the charm of doing this is you got to be able to make it sustainable for your family, and if it's not sustainable for your family, it won't happen. So where are we at?
At Georgia.
Yeah, we're in Georgia. The Everyday Kid says we're in Georgia, which is absolutely where we're at. You could rebrand to the Everyday Family. Yeah, I thought about doing that, but since they're not in it that much, I didn't want to change it to the Everyday Family. I like the Everyday Dad because it's dads. I mean, I've thought about because I like how I like the sound of the Everyday Dad. It just rolls off the tongue. I like the Ted thing that's kind of grown up. I did not come up with that, by the way. Somebody, and I really need to find out who originally said that, but one of the commenter subscribers came up with Ted, and I think that's awesome. It's made it really easy to kind of brand the channel a little bit. But if I change the Everyday Family, I don't know. I like the Everyday Dad, and if maybe it's something that she really gets into, we could create a spin-off channel of the Everyday Vlog or something like that, or something like that. Yeah, she's a dental hygienist, so talking about dental stuff. They're explaining why my Spark unboxing video has only 84 views. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it is tough. Sometimes I'll make a video that I think is going to be awesome and drive a lot of traffic and gets like 100 views. And it just the Spark stuff for me, I got to be honest, I was in the right place at the right time. My videos are not that great. They don't have a lot of research behind them. I'm getting better at that. They kind of caught me at a time when I was between like how I was going to make videos. So I think they're kind of awkward, but they were just at the right place in the right time. I got a good thumbnail out of the obstacle avoidance one, and it drove people to the channel. And sometimes it's about just being able to set the conditions, so releasing good content regularly, so when one of your videos has a chance to just be in the right place at the right time, you're able to capitalize on it. Okay, I'll answer. So where are we at right now? So the last comment I have right now is from Get Out the House, Go Fish. So I'll answer the comments that are out right now, but we're going to cut it off for comments from there because we've now made it past there. So where are we at? Troy Johnson, did I get paid through Drone Base? I did get paid for the two. I completed three missions. One got rejected for exposure issues. The other two got accepted, and I did get paid for each of them. Infinite Altitude Productions. I always click on the subscription tabs. Yeah. So if you go to the subscription tabs, yes, it will show a reverse chronological order of your subscriptions. But for your like browse features or for like on the main YouTube page, if it's not in your viewing like history and it's one of your subscribers, they just won't show it. Anthony, do I get scared flying over water? Sometimes I get nervous because the Spark. And maybe it's all drones, all DJI drones, but the Spark does not like staying as stable as possible when it's over water. I think something to do with the sensor on the bottom, and the water makes it do like weird things. Made a mistake by forgetting to tag my videos for ages until yesterday. Yeah, if you don't tag it, so the way that a lot of big YouTubers don't tag their videos because they don't really need to, because their videos drive inherent traffic to their stuff. But for little guys like us, if you don't tag it, YouTube doesn't know where to put it. So YouTube will eventually learn. YouTube reads at what, like a 6th grade? YouTube's AI reads at like a 6th grade reading level. So it will eventually figure out what your video is about. But by then, you may be out of your like golden window of time to drive traffic. So if you're not tagging it, it doesn't know who to suggest it to, who to put it anywhere. And the more information you can put in your SEO, like your stuff for your YouTube video, the more it can get it out there. And then as people watch it and it shows it to other people, and then it can learn better places to put it. But at first you got to do that. Keep the name, Get Out the House, Go Fish. Keep the name. Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of the channel, actually. Okay, what are we at? All right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for coming. I love doing these. The live stream is my favorite part of the channel. It really is. Reviewing the cheapest is a second close favorite because it's a lot of fun. But thanks, everybody. I have a great time doing this. We'll do another one in 2 weeks. Have a great evening. And from the everyday family that's here, have a great Labor Day weekend and have a great rest of your night. I'll catch you guys later.